Hello, Ferran.
Hello, Dan. So thank you to be here. So then, as a reminder, Dan Pardo is the senior manager for the software platform. So thank you to be here because we have a big announcement. So weeks or months back. So we announced SCIEX OS 4.2, and now we are ready for the next number, SCIEX OS 5.0.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, very exciting moment for the company, very exciting moment when we are just facing, I will not say the last time, but yes, then we have to remember that analysts will enter into the end of the life next year. So up to July. So, and after that moment, so yeah, it will be only SCIEX OS available. Then it's important that we discuss about, yeah, how the people can transition, but especially so then why they should transition, and the new features that we have in SCIEX OS 5.0. So then what's coming with it?
All right, Ferran, thank you. So for all of our customers everywhere, all over the world, I want to welcome you to SCIEX OS 5.0. For many of you, you've probably heard either through announcements online or through ASMS that we have 2 new instruments coming to our lineup, including the 8600 Unlock as well as the Novus V55. However, SCIEX OS is again far more important than just supporting new instrument hardware. It's about empowering the science that already exists, making it better, faster, and more reliable to data to answer. But more importantly, ensuring that our customer base who are coming from analysts at SCIEX OS are able to do what they've been able to do for many years, better, faster, or in a more stable platform as they move from legacy into the next generation. So how does SCIEX OS 5.0 enable you to do this? One of the most important aspects is us listening to our customers. And one of the most important pieces of feedback that we were given was enhancing our ability to generate reports for their samples. With that, I'd like to introduce the capability known as our new Report Studio. This now moves from our traditional reporter software and moves into a platform that can be used as a graphical user interface with additional templates pre-built for users. It is less of a, shall we say, coding-based solution and more that is more friendly, more easy to use, more easy to understand, and more simple to replicate. Additionally, its flexibility removes certain necessities, such as a reliance on Microsoft Office products. There are more flexibility options here. Beyond this, we've also added in new capabilities in the form of an AI assistant. Now, this is exciting, but let's also be clear. AI is everywhere, so it has to be meaningful. It has to be thoughtful. And with this, we're taking an approach of looking at how we can utilize it and how our customers and users can utilize it in a way that's meaningful for them. As such, there are 2 major components to this. One is that the interface is a natural language interface, meaning you don't have to have exact prompts, but also you can use language related to the application and work that you're doing. This simplifies the use and it obviously is constantly learning. Now, something of note is this isn't modeled based on SCIEX models. This is based on our customers' models, which is really important. There could be proprietary information that, can't be shared with us. And that's very important that we respect that privacy, respect that information. And our tool utilizes only those models that are allowed within the organization or created by the organization. Beyond that, we are also enabling this capability within our analytics workspace to support development and generation of processing methods, most specifically our calculated columns. This is an area where many of our users find a lot of power, but also find a lot of challenge. Great power comes great responsibility, and this is something that we want to give our users all of the tools available to them. With a natural language prompt, you can essentially generate a calculated column from scratch or get direction or guidance from your system to help you flesh out that processing method. Now, these are to enable our customers who have been using Analyst for some time and are transitioning to SCIEX OS, along with a library of other features that we'll be going into later on. But these are just the highlights. Now, from there, we want to also go into new enterprise level features. This is building on the idea of built for business that you've heard a lot for Novus V55 and our general desire to empower our customers to the greatest uptime, utilization, and success of their instruments. As such, we're introducing two new capabilities, one known as central monitoring and a second known as central metrics tracker. Now, why are these important? Why are they differentiating? For central monitoring, you now have the ability to have a one-stop shop view of every instrument that's on SCIEX OS, whether it's accurate mass, whether it's nominal mass, whether it's a 6500 or a Novus V55. With your configuration, with your associated security, you can operate in a compliant manner with role-based access to view the system status, the system utilization, the devices that are connected, as well as queue progress. Again, we'll go into greater detail later on, but this is just to show that SCIEX is moving beyond the workstation. We are moving beyond just acquisition and processing, but more so enabling our customers to get the maximum effective return on investment for their system. And finally, central metrics tracker. This capability was introduced originally with our 7500 plus nominal mass system. With that, we've enhanced it with the 8600 series systems. And now with the Novus V55, we've taken it a leap further with all these benefits, such as new rules enablement with new notifications. We've taken a step off of the workstation yet again to provide a single point of access for anyone in the organization with the appropriate configuration to view and generate their own metric plots across multiple systems. So as opposed to only being able to view one system, now you can compare multiple systems. And this is something that many of our customers have been looking for quite some time. So we are very excited to bring it to them. Just a snapshot of what's to come, but I figure I hit the highlights and save the rest for later, Ferran.
Yeah, I have questions for my understanding. That probably, some of the customers can have questions as well about this. So then, first, when you mentioned about the reporting, so you mentioned that it's a kind of pre-configured, right? So then pre-configured reports. So then that means that the customer can interact with the reporting, asking questions to the tool in the sense of typing, so then how he wants to configure the new reporting, or it's something that it's already predetermined and then so has to work with what it comes with the new tool.
So this comes in several stages, if you will. Obviously, we will have our standard templates that are already generated for users. Then you take it a step down and there are pre-built, shall we say, sections in the Reporter Studio so that everything doesn't have to be built from scratch. If you need to know internal standard behavior, lower limit of detection, upper limit of quantitation, and you have specific criteria, you can build out essentially blocks or modules that can go directly into the report as opposed to having to do it from scratch each and every time. And then you can go all the way down to the very base level and add individual components to the reporter as you go along. Furthermore, with the introduction of the assistant, you can get kind of guidance, if you will. Now, obviously, as you can probably imagine, if the assistant is available and the reporter is there and there are modules in there, you can imagine there's possibility for the future, but that's for the future to hold.
Cool. And the second question is about the AI tool, so artificial intelligence. So that it's so for what I understand, so it's two features that they are coming now. One is the assistant in some way that you can ask questions. So then it's giving you answers. So then one of the things that I like it is that you can ask also some questions in local languages. So then and he's answering in local language. So then for me, Spanish, Catalan is an example. So then because I guess that people have noticed that I'm not my mother tongue is not English. So then can help to the scientists and in some occasions. And then the second one, to me, it's very interesting in what concerns to the calculated columns. So because that means that you can ask, just simply asking the questions about how you want these features, then the software will generate the calculated columns automatically without the need that you typing everything that you need. Is like that?
Yeah, so to kind of answer both at the same time, absolutely. With that natural language input, it does have the capability to be flexible in language. So if you ask in a local language, it does have the ability to respond. Now, for some technical items, obviously those may remain in English as the source material may be English, but for the most part, yes, that flexibility exists. Now, because you're speaking in natural language and because the system can respond as such, when we refer to the calculated columns, it gives you that much more flexibility and capability within the system. Now you can start as simply as you want for guidance on how to build a calculated column, all the way to saying, build me a calculated column. And step by step, it'll generate what you need, ensure that the output is exactly what you're looking for, and get it in there for you. And that, I think, is exceptionally powerful, especially as some of our users are coming online for the first time trying to do this, just by reading a manual. That's not how we have to operate anymore. There are tools and capabilities available for us at our fingertips.
Thank you. Then, so we have you mentioned central monitoring and the central metrics. Are they related in some way, or are they not? They are, right?
They are.
Yeah.
So these build off of our central administrator console tool. And this is one of their primary ways they're related. Something that was very critical in our customers and users' feedback was that any tool that could access multiple systems across the lab had to have appropriate user permissions and access control. Enabling that was our central administrator console. So this provided a one-stop solution that managed the users, ensured security, ensured fully auditable events, and also gave us the ability to interact with all of these SCIEX OS systems across the platform. Furthermore, with the expanded power of the central administrator console and its ability to be deployed at a server level, there was more compute available. What does this mean? This means now I'm able to view 10, 15, 20, 100 instruments simultaneously. Obviously, within reason, we don't want to try and commit to monitoring 100 systems globally, but the idea here is to enable lab managers, users, directors to be able to see what are their instruments actually doing, what are their fleets actually doing. If I have a study across 7 instruments, are my 7 instruments good to go, or do I have to make decisions about either adding or removing a system or scheduling maintenance? Beyond that, we tied in the central metrics tracker, again, specifically for the 7500 plus 8600 series instruments and Novus V55, to give users the ability to make sure that their assays are performing as they anticipate and as they expect. This is especially critical now more than ever, as every single scientific decision has to be done without a measure of doubt, whether from precision, quality, or any other measure. And by providing clear understanding of the data, the performance of the system, and its performance over time, as well as performance within the cohort, we believe we're adding and amplifying the customer's belief in their data.
At the beginning and now, so you mentioned that, of course, most of the new features then will benefit users of 86, users of Novus. So then now you mentioned also 75, but so we focus into, and I'm thinking in what we release then at the SMS, right? So we release what we call, so then features to improve the 86, but specifically so as a new platform, Evo. So this is related to the platforms, but related to the market. So then if we think into these new features, then how do you envision? So which are the benefits for the customer, or the main benefits depending on the market of this new version of SCIEX OS?
So the market specific benefits, don't want to get too much into some of the details, but I'll hit some of the highlights. For some of our proteomics customers, especially who are utilizing the 8600 as it stands, moving into our next generation of 8600, we have ZT-Scan DIA 3.0, which is enabled by new acquisition technologies within the software. That benefit comes with additional tooling within SCIEX OS for users to maximize their windows, to maximize the efficiency of their fragmentation, as well as to upload their data to their processing software of choice. Now, we do have some solutions that pair with SCIEX OS, but what we're doing is we are enabling our customers to choose the tool that suits their solution best. And my colleagues associated with the 8600 will probably have more information to share there. But for our proteomics and omics customers in general, the 8600 is empowered by this new capability within SCIEX OS. Beyond this, we then have also for our food and environmental, as well as our contract research organization customers. Yeah. While they are very different, they also share certain similarities, which are really important. This is a volume of data that has to be processed. And this assistant that we've mentioned before is only a part of the solution. We've also introduced enhancements within our analytics workspace, as well as some speed enhancements, so that these customers who are utilizing these ultra large cohorts are able to get through that data faster. Furthermore, with the accelerated MRM that's found within the Novus V55, we can do prodigiously greater acquisition. With that, we've enhanced our batch workspace, as well as our system's ability to, shall we say, plow through these with higher confidence, with improvements in our messaging within the system, with our metric tracker rules, so that you know that as these systems are driving along, not only can you quickly get results, but you can know even faster whether or not those results are critically beneficial and working, and not in any way, shape, or form showing degradation or failure. Beyond this, there are further benefits for a number of our workflow customers, and we will be having some series coming up to talk about the different markets and their workflows and how we are able to meet our customers' needs. I just don't want to steal their thunder and give them the opportunity to speak to it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this is very important what you mentioned, because we'll have new series and we'll have a very deep view into all the features that you have been mentioning now on this call, just to look into the software with more detail. And yeah, if it's possible, having some customers just answering the questions. In fact, some of the customers, or at least then some customers have experienced already the software, right? So, and this is what we were showing at the SMS. So with the talks from Nicola Zamboni and Gary Patti related to metabolomics and how they were using ZT-Scan and the new advantages in the software. And then so Guillaume again from Jirpa, so presenting the Novus, and his presentation was also very, very powerful, not only because of the performance of the instrument, but also so then how he was interacting with the software as well. Okay, so then let's be ready for how should we call this then? Short. So we have to look for a name. So then for this kind of new series that we will start now, showing the capabilities of the software that you will do in the next days, and that we will discover and uncover. So then just after the release of the software. So be ready, and thank you very much, Dan, to be here with us and introducing, our new tool, SCIEX OS 5. I'm calling 5.0, and probably so then it's you were mentioning 5.5.
It's 5.0. It's 5.0.
Again, so there is the difference in local language what we were talking before.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right. Thank you for bye.